Good evening, good evening. Jump on in this spiritual room. Good evening, good evening. This is good. Nice hot Arnold Palmer. I think I, whew, I think I outdid myself. Mercy. Taylor, you better look out. Listen, you better look out. The way I mixed this hot tea with lemonade, create an Arnold Palmer, you better look out, Taylor. I know you think you can cook, but you better look out. Stanley's in the building, Aaliyah's in the building, Cecilia's in the building. I see y'all. Good day, good evening. Tonight's gonna be a little different. Good evening, good evening. I'm about to bring on a young warrior and we gonna flow. Y'all doing okay? Jasmine, I see you in the building. Do me a favor, let me know what city and state you guys are logging in from. Whew, this is warm. Feels good. A little cool in Texas. Cool meaning low 60s, upper 50s. Actually, we got in the 40s. Austin, Texas is in the building. I see y'all. ATL is in the building. Dallas is in the building. Okay, I see y'all. Dallas Baptist University is in the building. I see y'all. It was chilly this morning. Now, oh yeah, it was real chilly this morning, right? I want to bring on a young warrior who I think is about to be somebody. His podcast is blowing up. Fort Worth, Texas is in the building. You know, it's always a little colder in Fort Worth than it is in Dallas. Maybe like 5 degrees or so, but it's a little colder in Fort Worth. Austin, Texas, Dallas, Texas. Man, this is great. I don't know if you guys like Arnold Palmer. I basically mix lemonade with some hot tea. And then it was actually some that my wife had already made, so I just kind of heated it up. So maybe I'm cheating. It's got a little ginger in it. Man, opens that chest area just right up. If you guys have not joined P3 Devotions, make sure you're joining P3 Devotions. We do it every morning about 8 a.m. Central Time. It is blowing up. Hundreds of people on TikTok now. Instagram, obviously, now on TikTok and YouTube as well, and they're watching it on Facebook. So the whole purpose is us really diving in to hear God's word and to make the word applicable. So we pull out the purpose, the power, and the plan of God's word. We went through the entire book of Genesis, all 50 chapters. Now we just started the book of Exodus. We did chapter 1 today. It's not too late to join. Tomorrow we're going to do chapter 2. All right, I'm waiting on my guest to pop on, and we will get rocking and rolling. I want to say that God is doing something ridiculous in the earth, and you'd be shocked on how he's going to do it. Don't expect it to come from just your normal circle. Don't expect it to come from just your normal people. God can use anybody. In fact, he can use you, and you can do anything but fail. Your eyes have not seen, your ears haven't heard, neither has it entered into your heart, the things that God has prepared for you. It's okay, Cecilia. You can go on YouTube and go to P3 Devotions, and it will be Exodus chapter number 1. I've got a whole list of them there. They're now archived on YouTube. Y'all been beating me up saying, Pastor, please make sure this is on YouTube. So we've been uploading all of them on YouTube. But last but not least, I want to bring in an amazing, amazing special guest. And let me just introduce right mind. He's got a podcast. He's smart. He's intelligent. Morning, Paul's morning Bible study has been great. I catch it. Yeah, praise God.
What's up, Pastor?
What up,
What's
Dave?
up, Pastor?
What it do, baby?
What they do, man? What they do, man?
First off, thank you for being patient with me.
Of course. You're good.
Talked to my aunt, the boss, and several other people. Schedule's rocking and rolling. Hilton, I see y'all in the building. Listen, y'all, if y'all don't know who Dave is the sharpest young statistician that I've ever seen. We don't agree on everything, but
Not everything.
he got some old school flavor in him. So I love it actually. Yeah, what you cooking up? What you cooking up, Dave? What you cooking up,
Um,
man?
well, um, I was just gonna start off with this because I remember last time we talked about
Rick,
we just gonna have it now
hold on
because
a second, Dave. Ricky, don't go anywhere because I need to see if you agree with him. This is Big Ricky's on, Young Ricky. If you could text Little Ricky to get on as well. He actually plays overseas right now, b-ball,
overseas.
and we're about to make that transition to the NBA. So, what you tell us about your podcast, what you got cooking, and why are you so passionate about basketball, man?
Okay, so one of the reasons why I started my Best Take podcast in the first place was because for one, I was passionate about talking about the game of basketball. And I just like playing it. Like I play with my friends and family. I grew up playing the game. I play it for fun. You know what I'm saying? And then watching the game and then, watching sports channels like First Take, ESPN, Stephen A. Smith, and then Undisputed. And now with Shannon Sharp having his own little, platform. I watch all those guys. So all that really just inspired me. You know what I'm saying? So like growing up, that's just what I watched. And so that transition, like for my love for basketball, that just transitioned to actually talking about the game and then watching it from like a different perspective. You know what I'm saying? So that's just how it all came about. And then when I started the channel for it, I was like, I guess I could do that. Yeah, I might as well just like, since I love basketball, I talk about basketball. And on top of that, I had a gaming channel and I played 2K on there. 2K is a basketball video game for those who don't know. So since I was just already playing 2K and already surrounded by the game of basketball, I was like, I might as well just start a podcast for it, just talking about real life basketball while also on my other channel just play 2K with like the other basketball players. So that's really just how it came about, and that's why I love doing what I do because it brings in conversations and debates, and sometimes people may go overboard, obviously, but for the most part, yeah, for the most part, it's actually fun. I like the conversation that it brings. You know what I'm saying? You get to hear other people's perspectives and opinions about their player that they like. So it's good.
Well, listen, Dave, we got some experts that actually have joined us. If Earl is still on as well. Earl, we're going to see if you agree with him. Earl is a great sports guy from the Mavs to some other things. Earl, make sure you put in your contact information, put in exactly what you do and how you do it. Earl studies the game of basketball, knows it like the back of his hand. So we're going to do some rapid fire, and we're going to see what's what. Greatest center of all time.
Greatest center all time. My opinion, or just like
Your opinion.
in my opinion, I'm gonna have to go.
Wait. First of all, thank you for being fair. Greatest center in your opinion, and greatest center in terms of what the world would think is the greatest center.
Okay. In my opinion, I think it's Kareem. From the world perspective, like for who they generally have as like the greatest center, I've always heard Shaq's name come up for greatest center. If not him, then the honorable mention would be like Wilt Chamberlain or somebody. If not him, then it would be like Hakeem Olajuwon or somebody. But for the most part, I've heard a lot of people say in general they think Shaq is the greatest center ever. In my opinion, I think it's Kareem because like me and you talked about like a few Sundays ago, Kareem dominated every level of basketball. That's why he really should be arguably the GOAT. But that's another discussion for another day too. So yeah.
Earl said it's Bill Russell, 11 championships. Do we
See, I like that. I like that.
Do it championships? Do we do stats? What we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen, is that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar lost 2 games in high school, 1 game in college. And when he got in the NBA, was just straight dominating. He was a center then. We forget about great centers like Ralph Sampson. Have you ever heard of Ralph Sampson?
I've heard of Ralph Sampson. Yeah, he was playing with Hakeem Olajuwon in the early '80s, but then he got hurt. So I hate that he got hurt. I hate him and Bill Walton got hurt because they was both hooping for real back in those times. So yeah.
And ladies, feel free to jump in. Now you know who the ladies are gonna say. I'm starting way out, and then we're gonna come to the center. Okay, great. Wait, hold on. Fat Curry just entered into the room, aka Pastor Josh. They call him Fat Curry. Let me say something.
What's up, Pastor?
Yo, let me say something. Pastor Josh got a wicked jump shot. He put it on Joshua one day. I'll be honest with you. My son, Pastor Jacob Ball, I got to give it to him. They call him Fat Curry. Okay, so speaking of Steph Curry, Elijah, what's up, baby? Speaking of Steph Curry, do you think he is the greatest shooter of all time?
Yes. Oh yeah, without a doubt, he's the greatest shooter of all time. Hands down, he's the greatest shooter. And then behind him will be like the Ray Allens and then Klay Thompson, obviously former teammate of his. And then I'll actually put in like Reggie Miller, Dirk, even Larry Bird too. He was a great shooter for his time as well. And I'll also like to put in another honorable mention that a lot of people don't talk about is Sam Vincent. He was a good shooter as well, and Craig Hodges.
Remember Craig?
I like him.
Who's Sam Vincent? I don't remember him. Who did he play
Sam Vincent, I think he was a guy. No, it's not Sam Vincent. I'm sorry, Gabe Vincent. That's who I'm talking about. I messed up his first name. I'm so sorry. I messed up the first name, but yes, he was like a shooter. I think he played for. I think it was something where like I think he played for the Celtics. I know Craig Hodges used to play for the Milwaukee Bucks and for the Bulls, and he won those 3-point contests back in the '80s. But yeah,
So,
they don't get talked about enough.
as you guys can see, David knows his stuff. So you went with Kareem for center, greatest center of all time, greatest shooter of all time, Steph Curry. Him and Ray Allen, Larry Bird's up there, but I don't think anybody's gonna argue Steph Curry. Now, people were comparing Steph Curry versus AI. Who do you think wins? Who would you take? First of all, who's the best player? Is it Steph Curry or is it AI?
So, okay, here's how I look at it. So, if you ask me who's the better player,
Earl said Gabe Vincent plays for the Lakers. You had it right the first time. Okay, hey, Earl knows stuff.
Okay, I had it right the first time. Then, okay, I'm tripping. I'm so sorry. But so you asked me who's the better player between Curry and Iverson?
Who would you take?
See, y'all gonna get mad at me for this, and I already know why. I get it. I get it. So let me just get this off my chest now. So the reason why I think Curry is a better player, just a better player. If we're just talking about individual player, like play style and all that, like I love AI, but I think Curry is a better player than Allen Iverson only because of his name. Only because listen. I know it's crazy, but hear me out. The only reason why I say that is because if I'm a GM, right, and I have to start a player, and I got all the players in NBA history, right, and I want a point guard first, I think right after once we get past Magic Johnson, I think like right after him, you will pick Steph Curry because Steph Curry literally is a shooter, and then he's easy to play around and build around because he can just shoot and he can run off the ball. Iverson needs the ball in his hands to be dominant. And then another thing, just to be flat out honest, Iverson ain't gonna pass the ball like that. He come on now. Iverson want to put everybody on skates before he passed the ball. Let's just keep it a bean.
I was just straight up the coolest player. So maybe it's the swagger that's influencing.
Yes.
I'm with Earl. Steph is a better all-around player. You spitting facts. But AI, Glades, pound for pound, AI
is one of those pound for pound guys. Everybody loves AI because of the influence. He brung his own swag and personality to the league, and that's why everybody loves him. But if you're just keeping it straight basketball,
but I looked at this.
He's not as.
We had this conversation outside of Firehouse. I looked at the stats. AI's got him on the stats. I'm just saying. AI's got Steph Curry on the stats. Now, Steph, you can probably put field goal percentage. AI's got him.
I think AI beats him in points per game. I think Curry beats him in field goal percentage.
Even though you didn't think he passed the ball and assists.
Yeah, he does have more career assists, but Curry will get there. Curry will get there. He'll get there. But he'll get there. But I mean, it's whatever you want to roll with. If you want to roll with swag, then okay. But if you want to roll with like all around good basketball without the ball or with the ball, Curry's that guy. That's why he's so hard to guard.
Who wins more championships?
Who?
Now, not like with Golden State versus whoever, the Philly 76ers. I'm saying if you're picking one player,
Hmm.
AI, Steph Curry, who do you think is going to win more championships when you pick them?
Oh, um, it still might be Curry, low key. It still might
Okay.
be Curry in my eyes, only because again, it's a style and who you put around him. Because, like I said earlier, Curry is easier to build around because he can run without the ball in his hands. So I can really just do like, you know what the Bulls did with the triangle with Jordan. So imagine the triangle, but
Right.
instead of just getting shots from the mid range, we're getting shots from the three now. That's basically what the Golden State Warriors basically do. They literally take the triangle and they just expanded it out from the mid range, just took it to the 3 point line. And that's why Curry's so dominant because you got to chase him around the whole court.
See,
Mm.
well, that's why it's always unfair. I'm gonna read. We got some good comments too, and I'm gonna read some of these
Oh,
comments.
say, hey, I kept him. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah,
The problem
again, I
with the
was
game is
with.
if you put Steph Curry in the '90s when he was a kid, and I think that's what makes him more effective because he was coached by people in the '90s. If you put him in the '90s, does he do as well as AI?
Does he do as well as AI if he's in the 90s? Or, I mean, in the 2000s? Or
'90s.
90s? I mean,
You
it just depends on what team.
is kind of similar, but
Yeah.
'90s found greatest basketball of the
I
'80s.
would say, I would say, in my opinion, if you put Steph Curry in the 90s, if he's on those 90s Warriors with Chris Mullin and Tim Hardaway, they're winning championships.
I'm
Because
saying,
they're,
let me quantify it with real defense, not this, not this basketball now. Oh, shoot the ball.
uh,
You can hit 60, you can hit 70. I'm talking about real. Y'all call it football, but it was real ball. D up, what's up? Elbows,
I'm,
everything.
but see, that's the thing though. That's the balance that I try to talk about. Because me and my dad had this conversation. Um, like I love old school basketball. Don't get me wrong, but some of the things that y'all call defense is really just not defense. You got like that picture of Dr. J and Larry Bird choking each other on the basketball court. If you did that now, you would be suspended.
Well,
Like,
let's take it back to 2003. What's my guy's name with the temper? Uh,
uh,
I shouldn't be
uh,
out like that, but you know what I'm talking about.
you talking about Rasheed Wallace or Ron Artest or
Artest. So I'm saying
Ron Artest? Okay.
there's always been fights, but let me go to some of these comments. Pastor Josh said AI had the heart that handles the shot, etc. But Steph Curry is the better shooter, but AI is better well rounded. And I would probably put a check mark there, but the better shooter to me means he would have more points than AI, but AI had more points. So I'm gonna have to hit you with an on that one. And he did that in the midst of real defense. Earl says AI was a high volume scorer that took a lot of shots to get to his numbers. That's true. Steph Curry is more efficient. That's true, pound for pound.
That's what I'm saying. He's just more efficient, right? You know what I'm saying? So if you take more shots than me, obviously you're going to average more points because you're going to take more shots to get those
But you
points.
have to take more shots when there's going to be real defense in your face. I'm just saying, let's balance it out. I know. Shoot me. I'm just a messenger. Glaze says, Cole said AI is the only player. Oh, Cole said AI is the only player that kept him up at night. This is true. This is from
Oh yeah, he
Kobe.
did say that.
Uh,
Yeah. Kobe
uh,
said, "Oh, we're lucky that AI wasn't 6'5" because if he had been 6'5", he would have been really, really dangerous."
and, and then he overcame so many different obstacles. That's a whole nother thing.
Right.
Off outside, coming
Mm-hmm.
out of prison, then balling for Georgetown, which is a whole other story. Earl said KD won 2 titles for Steph. Oh my God. So
That's
keep that in.
out.
Wait, time out. Hold up. Does Steph Curry win titles without KD?
Yeah, he already did that in 2015. The only reason why people say that stuff is because Kyrie Irving got hurt in 2015. So a lot of people have an asterisk on his first championship, which I do partially agree on because they did beat the Cleveland Cavaliers with Kyrie being hurt. When Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love did came back the next year, Steph Curry had the 73-9 record, won the unanimous MVP, and killed the 3-1 lead in the finals. But on top of that, though, before the finals even came into tuition in the first place, Steph Curry was down 3-1 to Kevin Durant himself. People forget that they literally beat KD to have KD join their team in the first place. Like, it wasn't like KD was traded there. KD went there because he was a free agent. He chose to join a team that beat him. It wasn't like they just, you know what I'm saying? Like, they won 73 games. They won a championship without KD. They didn't necessarily need.
It was 73-10 that year, right? Or
No,
73-9.
they went 73-9. They only lost 9 games. They started the season with 24 straight wins. They won 24 games in a row with Harrison Barnes in their starting lineup. They didn't need no KD. KD was just an add-on, a very, very significant add-on. Just keep it in the beam. Just keep it in the beam.
He said KD was an add-on?
Significant add-on, though. A significant one. Wow. It's only because you can't say you're better than me when I beat you for you to come join my team. If I never beat you, you would probably never join my team.
I feel you. And they beat the Bulls record because the Bulls record was 73-10.
They went 72-10 in '96.
Glaze said Steph don't have the mentality AI had.
Didn't need to.
Because he's in a softer league? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying he didn't need to have the mentality that Iverson had because Iverson was in a different situation. Iverson, what most people don't like to say about Iverson, and it's an unpopular opinion, but it's my opinion. Like, my opinion is that Iverson wasted half of his prime in Philadelphia. Iverson should have been out of Philadelphia by 2004.
Time out. See, first of all, I probably 800% agree with you. Now, let me take you back 30 years or so. In the 90s, loyalty was big. So that's why people who played in the 90s saw other ball as, oh, you just trading teams? Oh, you're not a real baller. It wasn't about the money for us. It was about where you could actually take the team, which we will later get into that discussion because I want to compare two players. But again, I feel you. Josh says Steph wouldn't survive in the 90s, true. But AI wouldn't stand out in these times as a player. Oh, that's garbage. You might as well delete that comment.
But see, here's the thing. We're in a different era now. We're in a different era.
Josh, did you say his skill set is an average player's skill set because the way skills have improved? Josh, go back to sleep. Josh, you need medicine. Somebody do me a favor, text me. She needs to take Josh to the hospital. Something's wrong. Something's wrong. I know you didn't make that comment, Josh, but I love you though.
He said, that's a crazy take.
Anthony said AI is the truth. Okay, Amanda says, okay, what about LeBron versus MJ? We're going to get there. We haven't got there yet.
Yeah, we're going to get there. We're going to get there. That's perfect.
Hey, babe. My wife is watching. I just got to. Hey,
Elder.
No one forgets okay. Jessica's in the building. I see you. Okay, Glaze said, all he does is shoot threes. That's not basketball. Ooh.
Yeah. That's cap. That's cap.
But it's not really cap. And, well, it's not really cap if you're from a different era because this era lets them shoot threes. You weren't just going to be able to shoot a three. Watch how many people actually guard Ray Allen, and Ray Allen is making threes on players. There's a difference. That's why Bird was a baller. Okay, 73-9, and a lot, a 3-1 lead in the finals. Okay. That's Jason Bill. Draymond recruited KD. That lets you know that they needed him. Oh,
can I respond to that? Can I respond to that real quick?
I need you to.
Okay, so the reason why I don't really pay attention to them recruiting him is because, of course, they were going to recruit him. Kevin Durant is a free agent. So, of course, when a mega superstar is a free agent, every player is trying to recruit who they need or who they want on their team. Here's the thing. It's not like KD is a bad player. KD is the type of player that when you see him, obviously he's phenomenal. So, of course, if he's a free agent, of course, I don't want that on my team. The problem is from a fan's perspective, when I went back and watched that whole series, that doesn't take away that KD was up 3-1 against Draymond and the Warriors. That's what people don't want to take. People don't want to take into consideration that even if the Golden State Warriors had won that championship in 16 or had a loss like they actually did, the finals didn't matter to KD because he wasn't in it. He wasn't in it. He wasn't in the finals. You needed one more win to get to the finals that year in the first place, and you didn't do it. So whatever happened in the finals didn't matter to you in the first place. You choked your way out to get to the finals. So why are we even talking about the finals? Why are we talking about the finals?
Earl,
Everything should stop with KD in the Western Conference.
I need somebody now. Now, Dave's make a good point, but I need somebody to chime in. Anthony said it's way softer right now. Draymond recruited KD. Okay, and KD was. Wait a minute. KD was the Finals MVP for both those titles. Wait, timeout. I didn't realize that KD was the. Wait, Dave. That just kind of deleted your whole argument. They recruit KD because they need him. Therefore, he gets 2 MVPs. Without KD, they don't have 2 titles.
Well, you see, that's why I disagree with, because at the end of the day, just because you win Finals MVP doesn't make you better than everybody. You know why? Because Iguodala got a final. Andre Iguodala got a Finals MVP. But are we really having a conversation about Andre Iguodala versus Steph Curry, who's the better player?
He could ball when he was balling. He could ball now. I'm just saying.
Is he better than Steph Curry? Is he better than Steph Curry?
The man won the MVP. The stats don't lie. He won the MVP for a reason.
I'm gonna show you the stagger road. I'm gonna put him up. I got my computer right here. Yes.
That up. Anthony says back in the day you had to earn points. AI, Code, KG, and many others work for every point. Do you think because it's softer these days that they don't really earn points, that they're actually giving points because they don't really have the defense that was in the 90s?
Well, here's the thing, and this is another unpopular opinion, and people are gonna get say because I'm a young buck, but it is what it is. The reason why the league is soft now is because of that bad era in the first place. Let's just keep it a beam. The only reason why the league has gotten softer over the years or throughout the decades is because in the 70s there's people that were out here just on drugs and then playing basketball, and then there was a whole bunch of fights. And in the 80s you had the bad boy Pistons really injuring people.
All the players with drugs. That's what I just heard, Dave.
I mean, not all of them, but I'm saying that was one of the problems in that era. You had people that was doing stuff like that. You had people just, again, like the Pistons, injuring people to the point Michael Jordan himself had to have a meeting with David Stern back in the 80s when he was playing them and talking about some, they're just too physical. They're not even playing basketball. You know, if LeBron James loses today, because they're playing the Magic right now as we speak, if LeBron James goes to the commission and a report comes out that LeBron went to Adam Silver and said the Magic were playing too physical, you know what they're going to call him? They're going to call him soft. But Jordan does it, that's just the era back then.
But time out, like really 80s is more like 90, 91. The bad boys, the Pistons, were really pretty much choking them out, slamming them on the ground. I mean, it just everybody knew. Now
it was WWE and basketball. That's what it was. And
Amanda said Katie cheated when refs were involved. Whoa, Katie,
who said that?
Amanda said Katie cheated when refs were involved, and then Earl said, and they lost in the finals to Toronto when KD got hurt. Ooh. Yo, KD's a ball player.
Hold on.
KD, talk to me. Straighten this out.
So, what he's not also adding on is that, yes, KD did get hurt in that series against Toronto, but what people don't like to bring up is that KD was hurt earlier in that playoff series. Like before the finals even came, he got hurt against not the Pistons. He got hurt against the Clippers in the first round. At first, they were calling it a calf injury. It got moved up to an Achilles injury because their medical staff basically lied to KD and said it was a calf injury when really his Achilles was hurt the whole time. Now, we get to the finals, you know what I'm saying? They got to the finals, they did their thing, they lost. But the only reason why they really did lose, in my opinion, wasn't just because KD went down, Klay Thompson went down. Because they were winning that game before Klay Thompson got hurt. Matter of fact, when KD went down, they left and he was done for the rest of the year. They were still up that game. You could go back and go watch that full game. When KD left the floor, Golden State was up. They didn't lose momentum in that series until Klay Thompson went down. Just give it an opinion.
Yeah, you got some point. And now Earl backs you up. He said Iggy just said last week that Finals MVP should have been Steph's, not his. So okay,
not his. Exactly.
Mike says y'all talking that talk. Got 2 players in the league now that you coach. Oh, that's awesome, Mike.
That's what's up.
Earl said Golden State lost the finals to Toronto when KD got hurt. They needed him. That's proof positive right there. Pastor Carlos in the building. So Earl says he hurt his calf and then his Achilles. It was two
Mhm.
separate. Uh,
Yeah.
Anthony said they didn't lie. He tried to downplay it. Okay. All right. So we're all building up to the real conversation. We're
Oh,
skirting around. Yeah. Before we get to who's the GOAT, before we get to who's the GOAT. Now, KG was considered a forward but could play center. Am I correct on that?
yeah. Him, Dirk, and Tim Duncan. They're both forwards that can play center. Mm.
If you out of those three, Dirk, KG, Tim Duncan, who do you take on your team?
Oh, my team. I'm gonna take Duncan. I'm not the biggest Tim Duncan fan because people try to say Tim Duncan's better than Kobe, but
What?
I'll take Duncan.
Who said that? Who's doing drugs? Who said
Yeah,
that?
yeah. We have
I
yeah.
can understand how they said that in terms of he's a polished player. There were no issues. He's going to win championships. He's going to do what you ask him to do. But to compare him to Kobe, that's just
That's
that's two different.
it's just ludicrous, especially since Kobe used to be giving him that work. But hey,
Earl, this is true. Now Earl's report. Earl said he covered Dirk, so he's biased. Now Dirk, to me, because he is not African American, actually gets a bad deal. Let's be honest.
yeah.
Is there reverse racism when it comes to basketball? Because b-ball used to be 77%, now it's 85% or so black. Does Dirk get a bad rap because he is not a black player? Because Dirk was one of the coldest 7-foot ballers ever.
I would say it's a little bit of both because before he won in 2011, the narrative was that Dirk was a chokester because they lost in 2006, and people say that the '06 finals was rigged because all the free throws that
Wait, time out. Earl, he called Dirk a
no,
chokester. Now, my,
not me. I'm talking about the narrative was that before he
oh,
won in 2011,
I,
he won. Yeah,
I got
yeah,
you.
that was the narrative because of um they lost the championship in the '06 finals against D Wade and the Heat, and people said that that series was rigged because D Wade got all the free throws and all the calls that he won. And then the next year in '07, Dirk had won the regular season MVP, and then they lost in the first round against the Golden State Warriors with Baron Davis and Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson. But the problem was people expected the Mavericks to make it back to the finals, and they got dropped off in the first round. And they had the MVP on their team. So that's why everybody called him a chokester. And we don't see him back in the finals again until 2011. That's why 2011 holds so much weight. You know what I'm saying? Because of the backstory.
Oh,
So
Now Earl business, he was reporting at that time, says I built my whole career around following Dirk around. He gave him a bit. Yeah, he was definitely giving Cassidy. He said the '07 loss was on Avery Johnson. When the
yeah,
coach team does, I got to be careful because I know Avery. Avery's real good people. Is that loss on Avery?
I mean,
And
yes, and no.
throw in Jay Terry, who we often forget about, straight baller, could ball, good guy too.
He, I would say it's a little bit of yes and no. And the only reason why I say yes is because that decision was kind of yeah, it was
Dirk,
bad, respectfully. But then at the same time, I would say no because he's not the best player on their team anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like the MVP was Dirk.
I got,
You know what I'm saying?
got you.
So we're looking at Dirk because
But Jay makes some crucial shots to take them there. And maybe I'm,
yeah, definitely, definitely.
and he's got a point. He said Dirk and Duncan were both fundamentally sound.
Uh,
Now,
Absolutely.
Amanda said, whoa, it was rigged with Dwayne Wade, period. So
Yeah,
you said
that's what the narrative was.
should have won?
Yeah, that's what the narrative was. From what I went back and researched, that's what the narrative was because people were mad that Dwayne Wade was going to the free throw line. I can look it up. I think he had like 13 free throw attempts a game or something like that. Basically pulling up James Harden before James Harden was James Harden. That's basically what it was. That's basically what it was in the '06 finals. I can look it up real quick though.
People
I
used to
forgot what one
why you look
was with.
used to actually kind of blame LeBron for not taking the full leadership when the big three were there. Chris Bosh, D.
Here we go. Mm.
Also, I'm just saying, he was crying about fouls and some other stuff, and then he took ownership and he rose from there. He hadn't had a championship yet. He rose from there. We're gonna come back to that. Earl says the Warriors team got put together at the trade deadline. They should have been a 4 or 5 seed, not a seed. Okay, that's true. All right, go ahead, Dave. We pull that up, and then we're gonna get into the real convo. D
Okay, yeah,
Wade.
I got it right here. I don't know if you guys can be able to see. You probably won't be, but I'm going on StatMoose, statmoose.com, and just search up Dwyane Wade's 2006 final stats. And he made 12 free throws a game out of 16 attempts. So he has 16.2 free throw attempts per game in that series. That's why
Oh
people
my.
were saying it was rigged. He got more free throw attempts than half of their starting lineup by himself in that finals. So, yeah,
You got that.
yeah.
Earl said D Wade was going to the free throw a lot, but he averaged like 36 points a game in that
But
series.
half of his points were from the free throw line. He's getting 16 attempts from the man. There was, hold on, let me see. Let's see. Let me take a game. Game 2 of the 2006 finals. He had 23 points, and he had 23 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, and he only made 6 shots. He went to the free throw line 14 times. He made 11 free throws out of 14, and he shot 6 of 19 from the field. So he took 19 shots and then only made 6, but he got 23 points because he made 11 free throws. You see what I mean? So you basically getting free points, because if you didn't get those free throws, you probably would have had a single digit scoring night. Most likely. You know what I'm saying?
You got me there. Hey, stats don't lie. Now, the question, we got to come down to it.
Okay, let's get it.
Alonzo Mourning was great in that series too, absolutely. And he was a player who was really, from a coaching perspective. Alonzo Mourning, if you ever go watch him with Georgetown, beast mode. That's a whole nother situation.
Okay, we're here.
In the annals of history, when I'm long gone in the wind, and you are 6 feet under, and I'm probably 7 feet under, because my wife's gonna be buried on top of me. Who would they say was the greatest basketball player of all time?
So, okay, I'm gonna put my feelings out of this, because this discussion is easy to have, in my opinion, only because I know how this is gonna roll. So, most likely, it's going to change because it's starting to change now. I'm hearing more people call LeBron the GOAT than I'm hearing people call Jordan the GOAT. And the only reason why that is because what LeBron is doing at his age is changing the standard of what a prime is. Because if I say back when LeBron was in his prime, you're going to look at me and be like, well, okay, well, what year was not his prime? Because the man's averaging 30 at 40 years old. You see what I mean? So he's changing, like, LeBron, I would say LeBron and Steph Curry, but just keep it on LeBron. But LeBron is really changing what a prime is.
Did you say Steph Curry is in it for the greatest basketball player of all time?
No. I'm talking about in terms of what a prime is. Like, you know how, like, people say, like, his prime. Yeah, that's what I mean. He's extended what a prime is. You know.
Before we get to LeBron versus Jordan, can we roll past Kobe?
Can't roll past Kobe. Oh yeah, Kobe. See, Kobe is my guy, so I can have this discussion all day. Because really, if I'm being biased, I can say he's better than both, but I'm not gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. Because we can't have. You know what I'm saying? Because that's when my bias starts to show, and I don't like having biased conversations. You know.
Saying that Jordan is the greatest player of all time, but LeBron statistically has a better career. How does LeBron I'm missing that on stats.
Oh, I can explain that.
Oh, you talking about because he was traded because Jordan came back to the Wizards and all of that? I don't see.
Here's the thing.
I've seen the stat comparison, and Jordan's got it. But then what they're trying to do is look at longevity, which I get that. But pound for pound per game, Jordan was the best scorer ever. Now LeBron's got him on assists. Y'all, somebody out there.
So,
and Anthony says on Kobe's 2, he didn't even put LeBron in 3. He didn't put anybody in 3. Your
Yeah, I mean,
Mike says your son says it's LeBron James all day. He was all district, but he's not welcome. Cole was that dude. Absolutely. Look at the individual stats for his career. Okay. Okay.
so um,
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go
so
ahead.
the reason why people would say LeBron would be the GOAT is because again, his statistics, you just can't ignore them. And the thing is, just like I say this all the time, yes, Jordan is 6-0 in the finals. That is amazing. That is dope. Yes, Michael Jordan in his time in the 90s, he dominated, he held it down. But the problem that I don't like with most Jordan fans, especially like people like that were around at that time, is that they forget that Jordan's teams was built on good ownership. Jerry Krause is really, I think, in my opinion, I think Jerry Krause, the owner of the Bulls at that time, is the greatest owner of all time. And the reason why a whole lot of players in their prime don't win championships is because of ownership. You have to have a very, very great owner that can put a team together so that superstar can win some championships or even have a chance of even going on a deep playoff run in the first place. And I feel like Kobe and Jordan both had a better owner and better coaches than LeBron has ever had in their entire careers. They both had Phil Jackson. They both had the triangle. You see what Steve Kerr did with the triangle? He put that in Golden State, and they went to like six finals and won 4 out of 6 with that method. Like it's been proven that method has been able to win championships. So like
Steve Kerr played with Jordan, okay, and then now
exactly.
Anthony says owners don't play.
Yeah, they don't. That's the thing. People say that, but here's the thing: they don't play on the physical court, but they do play a part.
This,
That's why players like Allen Iverson don't have championships because they wasted their prime on a team that wasn't loyal to them with a bad boo boo owner that wasn't trying to build nothing around them. I'm
Elaine
just keeping it a beam.
saying you need to be on ESPN. I brought this young fella on because we always going at it. He's smart as a whip. But you just tapped something. I got my friend Leslie on, if she's still on. You talked about loyalty. How important is loyalty in the game? Because it was beat us in the early age. Be loyal, be loyal, be loyal. Jordan takes loyalty to the highest extent. He never changed teams. Many people even believe if Jordan had retired, the Bulls would have won like 8 championships. I'm just saying. So how do we quantify this in
We'll
terms of
see.
because is LeBron the greatest because everybody's soft now? This is what old heads think. He's the greatest because everybody's soft now. He's a great player, but he never fully lived up to his potential in terms of what we really wanted out of him from our perspective.
We'll see.
Now,
That's why I don't like to hear that because I can't say this man then supersede expectations. Look, I'm gonna just give everybody this example.
I'm just giving you what people think. First of all, LeBron and I have the same birthday, December 30th. I love him. We here. My wife, she got a crush on him. I'm just telling you. I pray for her. I lay hands on her.
It's not like that.
LeBron just that dude. But when it comes to LeBron versus Jordan, man, I think Jordan is just in a whole nother brain. He in a whole nother stratosphere. To go through what you mentioned is wrestling, fighting, hack fouls, whatever the case, and still rise, quit, play baseball, come back, father died, come back. I mean,
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing what Jordan did. It's just that it's like I say, those breaks when Michael Jordan retired that first time, it really was a blessing in disguise. And a lot of people don't agree with me when I say that. But the only reason why I say it was a blessing in disguise is because literally when he came back, that Michael Jordan from the first three-peat, that Michael Jordan from the second three-peat was different from the one that was from the first three-peat. You know what I'm saying? Like his game was just way more.
What you said.
Like,
are you saying his body rested? You saying mentally?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I mean. Yeah. Like his body was rested. He was ready to come back and play basketball. And then he never looked back. You know what I'm saying? Like LeBron has never taken a break. And so That's the
Earl's got a
difficult part.
in,
Mm,
in Washington was 38, but he wasn't doing what LeBron is doing now at 39. I agree.
exactly.
I
Mm,
now I believe it was a strategic move because Jordan was really already going into ownership. So really, I don't even count those years. But I feel you. And to me, that's the only thing that lowered the stats. But Jordan playing and fully being Jordan, it was bananas. It just anybody that ever saw Jordan play, whether it was on TV or in person, is like this guy could actually score however many points he wanted to actually score. How do we how do we put LeBron in that conversation with people who actually experience that? Because a lot of times kids now are experiencing LeBron, they never got to experience Jordan. How do we balance that conversation up and not forget about Kobe, who was just now did Kobe have 5 rings? Help
yeah,
me
Kobe
out. Or was it just
has five.
okay? Okay. Now, well, this is gonna sound bad to say, take away the rape scandal. Well, you can't really do that. I'm saying, look at the adversity that Kobe went through. Jeez, the hate. Oh my God. Ah,
Yeah, he definitely was. Kobe was definitely hated. Um, I just think I think most of the reasons why Kobe Bryant was hated is because people. That's why I respected Kobe so much because Kobe had to really prove to people that he was that guy.
right.
From the time he got in the NBA to the time he really left, he really always had to prove himself. And that's why I hate when people try to say Kobe was carried by Shaq. Because like I texted you about when we had this conversation, I think last Sunday or the Sunday
Yeah.
before that,
Yeah.
like when Kobe first got to the Lakers, he wasn't even drafted by the Lakers. They traded for Kobe. They traded Vlade Divac for Kobe Bryant. The man was an 18-year-old kid. Jerry West, being the great owner mind that he is, he got Kobe Bryant and Shaq on the roster the same week in
Mm,
'97. Like he got him on the same week.
mm,
The only problem was Shaq was already an established superstar because he was drafted in '91 or '92, and he is playing for the Orlando Magic. And then, they made it to the finals in '95. So by the time Kobe Bryant was entering the league in his rookie season, they were like looking at Shaq because Shaq was a superstar because he was the guy that been in the league longer than Kobe. You get what I'm saying? So, of
woo.
course, and then on top of that, even taking Shaq out of it, even when Kobe first got there, they already had two guards in the starting lineup. They had Nick Van Exel, they had Eddie Jones. So they already had two starting guards to even there was no they wasn't starting 18-year-olds in the 90s.
That's true.
That wasn't and that's the difference. That's the difference right there when we compare these
You're
three. It's like they started way
so
differently. Mm.
you're basically saying that 90s basketball was tougher than today. Got him, coach. Got him,
That's
got
not what I said.
I'm
That
joking.
is not what I
No,
said.
I'm joking. Now, Anthony says LeBron was in a situation like Iverson with Cleveland and left. Jordan stuck in there and helped build. It's tough to tell a loyalist, to people who believe in loyalty, that LeBron is greater because they're picking teams these days as opposed to back then. It wasn't like that. Earl brought up a great point. I didn't realize that Jordan played for 18 months. Jeez, it was almost 2 years. Okay. LeBron can work with anyone except Howard. Okay. Wow, Dwight Howard. Okay. 5 with the Lakers. That's Cole. Okay. Yeah. 5. 3 with Shaq. 2 with Paul. Okay. Can't forget about Kobe Bryant. Okay. The trade was already in the works. Charlotte drafted on the Lakers' behalf. That's true.
Yeah,
That's true. LeBron is either better than Jordan. Wait, LeBron is either better than Jordan and Kobe, or he's not than either. Kobe and Jordan, the same model. That they would be similar,
I
same model. Jordan was his protege. I mean, not Jordan was his mentor. So Kobe trade was already in the works. Okay, got you.
mhm.
Uh, Mike said he could. He said I couldn't stand Jordan, but that dude was undisputed GOAT, no cap.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
definitely. I think when we have this LeBron versus Jordan debate, I really do think that a lot of times people don't bring a lot of context in this conversation. Only because if they did, then you couldn't. It's hard to defend both of them because like Jordan started in '84. When Jordan first came in the '80s, he was getting his tail beat. Let's just be honest. He
Yeah,
was getting his tail beat.
beat
And
down.
and here's the thing: if you look at if you stop Michael Jordan's career in 1990, not 1991 when they first had the three-peat from '91 to '93. If you look at Michael Jordan's career, if you stopped it just at '90, it's nothing but individual success. And what did we say about guys who just have individual success? Oh, he's just like when Kobe. When I say this all the time, when Shaq first left Kobe, and from '05 to like '07, Kobe was winning all the scoring titles, and he won back-to-back scoring titles and all defensive teams, but they wasn't doing anything in the playoffs. And you know what the narrative was without Kobe? The Lakers can't win with Kobe. Kobe is selfish. You can't win with Kobe because Kobe just want to shoot. That's what it was. And if Jordan never got Scottie Pippen or any of those guys that they eventually got, I don't think he would have won any championships because teammates matter.
I disagree. I feel you, but I disagree. Here's why.
Okay.
Although
Okay.
individual success from '84, '85 to '91, Jordan was building a team. Now,
Building a team?
within 6 years, anything's going to change. Jordan was developing as a player. He was developing his team, and the organization was trusting him. Therefore, when it hit '91, it was a wrap. You get 2, 3 people. Jordan was that dude. I just want to take a moment to say LeBron is amazing. I watched him come out of high school. The dude is just cold. Great father, son in the league. Didn't have a father growing up. I have uber respect for him. I think he's a great businessman. The way he put his friends on. LeBron is just that guy. Amazing in every category, not selfish at all. Now, you just talk about a straight up dog on the court. It's Jordan. It's
I think
Jordan.
LeBron's a dog too, though. That's the thing, though. Like, that's the difference right there. It's like,
It's
I
tough
feel
for
like,
physical ability to be a dog, but I understand what you're saying.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
like, I get what you mean. It's just, I think LeBron, the reason why people discredit LeBron so much is because he left Cleveland. If LeBron James never left Cleveland, I feel like he would have a lot more respect now than he actually does. People got mad at LeBron so much for what he did in 2011 because he sat there teamed up with his draft mates and then lost in the finals that first year. That's why everybody still holds that against him to this day. But if we're really keeping it a beam, like, okay, it happened, they lost in the finals, but like I say this all the time, like
When they
people get
lost
mad.
that was '06.
You said what?
First Miami,
You said what?
they lost to Miami. I mean, Miami lost to Dallas. Was that '05 or '06?
No, that was 2011 when they lost to the Mavericks. They
Oh,
beat the Mavericks in '06 without LeBron on their team. But that team was entirely different. That's what people don't have to understand. Before LeBron James got to Miami, they won a championship in '06, but from '07 through 2010, the team either missed the playoffs or they were getting bounced out in the first round. They were a boo-boo team. let's just keep Dwayne Wade was over there trying to carry whatever that was left from the '06 team. But obviously it wasn't enough because he kept getting bounced out in the first round. Chris Bosh was over there riding in Toronto. They weren't doing nothing in the Eastern Conference. They weren't. They weren't. And LeBron gets there, their first year there, they're in the finals. That's a blessing in itself, if you really think about it. We went from being a lottery team to a team in the finals in a year. Just to one guy being on the team. That's what I'm saying. It's the effectiveness of LeBron. The way he affects the game is different than what I've seen from any other player. That's the difference.
wait. But you think LeBron was more affected the game more than Jordan?
No, not effective more than Jordan, but I'm saying he's effective in his own unique way. Yeah.
Now, Frankie said she must be talking about Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard's head was never in the game. He hated his own team. I'm not going to touch that. Now, Earl makes a good point. He says the eye test tells you that MJ was the best player, but LeBron will have better individual stats when he retires. I agree with you. He will be top 5 in most major categories. I agree with you. True, I felt that way about Kobe at one point. 2011 in Dallas. Okay, one play I hated to see coming. Green irritated me every time he played. Oh, talking about Draymond. Okay, that's a whole
Yeah,
nother. Why? Let's switch gears. Why is Draymond the most hated player?
because he's a dirty. Okay,
Uh oh.
Draymond. Draymond is hated because Draymond is a blessed role player that talks like he's Michael Jordan. That's the problem. What's up, Preston? But that's the problem, in my opinion. That's what it is. Because Draymond
I
talks trash, and I respect talking trash, but legit, you can't talk smack and you only got 4 points, brother. You done played 40 minutes and you got 4 points. Like, you get what I mean? Like, that's like the guy, that's like the bench warmer at the end of the game talking trash, and you didn't even play, but you talking trash. You the water boy. You handing towels like you talking trash because your team won, like you done did something. That's
ah,
basically what Draymond
ah,
be doing, bro.
that-
Like Draymond will have 6 points and then will talk smack like he the MVP.
okay, okay. Wow. Hey, you will get no arguments from me on that one.
Just being honest, that's ridiculous, man. Like, and then on top of that, he be hurting players. That's another thing I don't like.
That's,
Me personally, I don't like.
the dirtiness has got to stop.
But
Earl, oh, go
he gets away with it though.
do so is that fair? Does he have pull? Why aren't they stopping that?
He's cool with Joe Dumars and Andre Iguodala. They both over this players association, whatever the heck they call it. So of course he gets over. If any other superstar that had the stuff Draymond does on the court, they go to business. Let let somebody like for let Lonzo Ball tackle somebody. They suspending him. Draymond Green does it. Oh, we're just gonna fine him. Give him like a 50K fine or something like that. You know, yeah, Draymond's a good guy. He doesn't mean to hurt any. Like, come on, bro. This man done hit somebody with a UFC punch, and y'all sitting here talking about some Draymond's a good guy. And y'all don't get out of here, man. Get out of here, bro.
Not UFC punch. Now, the other thing is people don't realize that those fines are often appealed. Now, Earl said LeBron disappeared in that series. I
In
guess
2011?
yeah, the Mavs made him play in the post, and he couldn't do it then. They guarded him
Mm-hmm.
with J.J. and dared him to post up. LeBron learned a lot with that. Okay.
Well, yeah, definitely. Just like Jordan won when he was losing against the Pistons. It's the same thing. That's the same. Like, people
Uh,
think just people.
uh, sort of.
I that
Jordan was fought a little bit harder. That's not really a good comparison, but I understand what you're saying.
The only reason why I said that is because no matter if Jordan averaged 40 points, 50 points, 60 points, they lost. They
I,
lost. They lost.
I didn't.
That's the point.
Now, your point, I didn't realize Earl said Joe Dumars is a VP in the league office, but he's Draymond's mentor also. I didn't realize that. Now, Joe Dumars was not the cleanest player when he played for the Bad Boys either. So
Not that.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
What do you think
Yeah.
is going? LeBron is getting ready to retire in less than 2 years. Where do you think the game?
Where I think the game is going. Like, are you asking me who do I think is going to be the face of the league next?
Face of the league, where is it going? Who becomes a superstar? Is it Anthony Edwards? Does he have more than just a nice dunk in the play? Is it my guy for the Grizzlies? I cannot even think of his
John
name. I'm
Morant.
getting a brain. No,
John
no,
Morant.
no. Maybe it's Timberwolves. I can't even pronounce his name. They won several years ago. Big fella from overseas.
Oh, you talking
Fair skin.
about Jan? He plays for the
Yeah,
Bucks.
yeah, the Bucks. I'm sorry. Pardon me. Milwaukee.
Um,
Who becomes the
say
face?
this.
What happens with the game? Does Bronny ever really go fed? What's your prophecy? What's your prediction? Prognosticate a little bit.
So my prediction is there's not going to be one face of the league. I think there's going to be face A's in the league for the first time in forever. I think that's what it's going to be. Because the reason why is because we got Jason Tatum over here winning championships. We got
I'm sorry, Dave. Elaine said, throw the whole game away. It's over when LeBron leaves. Oh, my. Okay. Go ahead.
crazy take. But no, I think there's going to be face is in the league. And the reason why I say that is because Anthony Edwards is reminding people of Michael Jordan when Jordan first came in the 80s. Like, I remember KG said Anthony Edwards reminded him of 84 Jordan when he first came in with the chain and had the hair and got his shoes and he was doing the dunk contest and stuff like that. That's what Anthony Edwards reminds them of. But then I'm also looking at players like Jokic, Giannis, Ja Morant, Jason Tatum.
That's what Giannis, yeah.
Yeah. Like Giannis, he won a championship in 2021. Jokic just won a championship in 2023. You got Tatum on the Celtics, literally, like, just came off of a championship run. So, like, I'm thinking it's not going to just be one player that's just the face of the league. I think there's going to be faces. That's what I think. Because here's the reason why I can't say that there's going to be just one face. And the only reason why I say that is because Anthony Edwards, as much as they're trying to promote him to be the next Jordan, he's playing in Minnesota and they just got bounced out in the conference finals. Tatum went to 4 conference finals and they just won a championship. So if we're really being honest, the face of the league should really just be Tatum. If not Tatum, it should be Jokic because Jokic just came off of a championship in 2023, and that wasn't not too long ago. And he just came off of a regular season MVP last year. And he's in the MVP discussion right now because he's basically averaging a triple-double at 7 feet. We got a 7-footer averaging a triple-double. Like that's ridiculous. And he also got Wemby as well, who has crazy potential.
Now, Wemby is now. What happens to the boys, Jay Morant and Jason Tatum from if I'm pronouncing the name right, Celtics. These boys are killing it. $300 million contracts.
You talking about Jaylen Brown?
Yeah.
What do you mean? What happens to him? Like,
do they take over? Do they become the Larry Bird and the Magic Johnson? We've not even talked about the greatness of Magic Johnson. Who do they become?
I just think they become like the next.
Then Pippen of this era.
You said what?
Do they become the Jordan and Pippen of this era, or is that too much of a stretch?
I mean, it's too much of a stretch right now because they've only won one championship. If they go back to back, we can talk about something. We can talk about something. At least go back to back. Because I don't believe we're going to see another three-peat at all.
You said, slow down, Pat. Slow down.
Right, yes. Yeah. Like, because that's what I'm saying. I don't think we're going to see another three-peat at all. I think three-peats are days in the past. That's what I think.
Are the best team in the league. Wemby's about to change the whole game. This is true.
Yeah.
I ain't said facts. Now, Earl said, give him your number. Doc Goins in the building. We talk about basketball and everything. Come on now. Hey, Pastor Goins, you could ball. Come on in this conversation. Now, Goins, we were at the church, and I think Corey was going with LeBron. I think Goins was going with Jordan. Who do you think the best player is? I need you to throw that in the chat. So you think that it's too early to call the Celtics the next Bulls or the next Golden State Warriors? You think it's way too early in that conversation?
Yeah, I think they will have to win again this year. If they defend their title, then we can compare them to Golden State because they're the last one. We haven't had a back-to-back champion since 2018. So from 2019 till now, it's been different champions. We had Toronto. You said what?
2018, was that Golden State? Who was that?
Yeah, they won in 2018. They beat LeBron and the nobody Cavs in 2018. So yeah. LeBron was basically carrying it. I hate that they won that year because LeBron was on a different level. But anyway, that's another discussion for another day. But yeah, we've had different champions for like the past 6 or 7 years now. So if they go back to back, we can start comparing them to somebody. I would say at least Golden State only because they would be the last. They were the last ones to go back to back. Because 2019 Toronto won, 2020 my Lakers won, 2021 the Bucks won, 22 Golden State won, 23 the Nuggets won, and then last year the Celtics just won. So if they repeat, then we can have a conversation. But they have a good chance of doing that too. That's the one thing that's pissing me off because Tatum just dropped a 30 on everybody, and I don't like that too much. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't like that.
Garrison, throw something in the chat. Garris is a young baller, smart guy, can shoot the lights out. I need you to jump in this conversation. Enjoyed y'all. Love the energy and content. Smart young bro. Hit you up later.
Yes, sir.
Done deal, man. Done deal. I think go Lakers. Okay, the Lakers is your team. I'm praying
Oh yeah,
for you.
Lakers. Yes, sir. Go Lakers. Yes, sir. Go Lakers. Yes, sir. We the third seed right now. Let's go crazy. Yes, sir. Anthony Davis winning MVP too. He got my vote. Yep.
It was
Yep.
nice. How many does LeBron have? Does he have 4 right now? 4 rings?
Yes, he has 4 rings. Yes.
Or do we actually count? Do we Suns all the way? Garrison said the Phoenix Suns. Okay.
Just got dropped off last night, but it's okay.
Oh,
KD hurt. I'll get y'all figured out.
do we count the COVID year with
Yes,
the Lakers?
I have a video on this on my YouTube.
To say it wasn't, you know.
People got mad that LeBron won 2020 because really all of them were Clipper fans. I'm gonna just say this right. No, because people forget that in 2020, when the league first came back and they had the bubble, the Clippers and the Lakers were the favorite to at least win the championship. But when the Clippers got dropped off after having a 3-1 lead against Jokic, then they blamed everything on COVID. No, bro, y'all had 4 15-point leads for 4 straight games, and y'all choked all 3 of those doggone leads. And then y'all try to sit there and blame it on COVID. No, y'all just trash. That's what. Let's just keep it a bean. Y'all just boo boo. Okay, y'all hitting shots off the backboard, choking leads. That's the only reason why people don't want to count it.
If Kobe doesn't pass, what happens in 2020? Is it just the Lakers just killing everybody?
The Lakers, we was the first seed in the Western Conference before the season got canceled anyway. LeBron was leading the league in assists. LeBron was literally in the MVP discussion that year before the season got canceled.
Okay.
He led the league in assists that year. He has an assist championship. Yeah, he has an assist, not assist championship, I'm sorry. He has an assist title in 2020 because he literally was averaging like 10 assists a game at 6'8", and he's 250. That's just ridiculous. That is ridiculous.
Great ball.
Yeah.
That Dalton Neck, if I can't pronounce the last name. Is he gonna be the rookie of the year?
He could be. If not him, it probably most likely could go to Jared McCain, who's playing absolutely ridiculous right now for the Sixers, but they just trash. They're 2-12 right now. But Jared McCain is having a great rookie season, but the team is boo-boo. But yeah. Jared McCain is having a great individual rookie season, but the team is awful right now. The team is awful.
Listen, I'm watching the comments. First of all, everybody loves you, man. You're a rock star.
I appreciate it. Y'all appreciate it.
Keep doing what you're doing. I know you were trying to rock with UNT. The paper is important, but you need to connect. I'll give you Earl's information. He's a reporter, writer, publicist in some aspects with NBA. So it's a good connect. A lot of people on here are asking me to connect you with their information. I think you should keep doing what you're doing. I love the feedback, and this has actually helped. Earl says you remind him of him. Yeah, I love the feedback. The only thing is just, and maybe it's emotion, it's Jordan all day. The way Jordan changed the game. I mean, people are not saying I got on LeBron's. It's just forever Jordan's. But LeBron being a billionaire blew my mind a few years ago. You could see it coming, but I think he's legendary. It's tough. It's like apples to oranges. I love both of them. And go ahead.
I just think a lot of people love Jordan, and I get why they love Jordan. Jordan is Jordan. But if we really gonna have this GOAT debate, like, I'm just gonna be honest with y'all, it's really not Jordan. The only reason why people bring it in Jordan is because they change the context for it, because they know no one's going to catch up to Bill Russell's 11. They know no one's going to win 9 straight championships in a row no more. So when Jordan came in, they changed everything. Because originally, based off my research, or I watch documentaries and all that stuff. If you go back, the original GOAT, the person that everyone was looking up to, was Bill Russell. That was the guy who won 9 straight championships.
Yeah.
He didn't take no breaks. He didn't retire and came back. No, the man won 9 straight in a row. The man was unstoppable. If you want to talk about GOAT, it should be him. If not him, it should be Kareem, who dominated every level of basketball. But no one liked the Kareem because Kareem, was a rude person.
Now,
That's what people like to say.
now,
So
with you, but let's take it even back just a little bit further. We've not even put in Wilt Chamberlain in the conversation. That's what blows my mind. Nobody's ever scored 100 points. It's yeah. Doc Owens, you want to jump in this? He said, "Let me help." He said, "Let me help." Hey,
go ahead.
Challenge. Yo, I think I'm trying to let you in. There we go.
Hello, sir.
Listen, you passed, preach your businessman. Now you're a basketball expert. Talk to me.
Well,
yeah, that's fine.
I can really appreciate the knowledge base of the youngster. I'm enjoying listening to the stats, and you obviously been around the game, been studying the game. I appreciate that. What's your age, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 20 years old.
Okay, so you never saw Jordan actually playing the game of basketball like in mid-season. You never really saw that. So your experience with Jordan is mainly highlights.
And documentaries, yeah.
So let me just share with you, it's different. When you actually grew up in the Jordan era, to see it real time, it's just different. There was actually an enigma that was in the atmosphere. We were afraid. There was a mourning taking place when we realized it was Jordan's last season.
Yeah.
We knew that we were in the midst of history. To see Jordan play in real time, not just highlight film, it was literally an experience of poetry in motion. It's honestly like, imagine watching Muhammad Ali in his prime.
Mm-hmm.
That was Jordan. And it wasn't just the basketball court. He transformed how black athletes interviewed on the microphone. No one was interviewing like Jordan. Jordan brought a business approach and articulation to the microphone being interviewed. Imagine the black Ric Flair. The same thing that Ric Flair brought when you look forward to hearing him talk. Forget the wrestling match. You look forward to hearing Ric Flair talk.
That's true.
You look forward to hearing the 45 seconds of the post-game interview of what is Michael Jordan. Now, off the court, it's debatable. But let me just share with you. You can never really appreciate it until you actually saw it. I am a LeBron fan, but you're literally talking about apples and oranges with Michael Jordan and what he did to change the face of the culture. He made dark-skinned dudes popular. When he came out with the tidy whities, he made black dark-skinned dudes. Not to mention what Ivory just said, the killer instinct of Michael Jordan. It was just different. And I can so appreciate everything we say about LeBron, but you're literally talking about two different animals with Michael Jordan and LeBron James.
Yeah. Two different animals. And I agree, Michael Jordan definitely his impact outside of everything that the court was amazing. But the thing is like, if we're having like a basketball conversation, like it's very, very different. You know what I mean? Like Jordan, the reason why I still have Jordan as like the GOAT over LeBron.
Oh,
you said what?
Something just happened with your volume.
I'm sorry. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so preacher is always intriguing when I hear them talk of Michael Jeffrey Jordan, because it's obvious that they've never watched him in motion, like the real game. You can't appreciate Jordan just off highlight reels.
Yeah.
You just can't. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's hard to. It's just like appreciating Muhammad Ali just on highlight reels. Jordan was a movement. You know, I mean, and it's always intriguing to me. Yes, the championship, and we do know that had he not taken those years off, he would have won those years too. Now, people say that the game is faster, and it was not
Yeah.
as athletic, and that's a good argument, because I think today's athlete, the average athlete today, is a better athlete than Jordan competed against. That's just the truth. But also, today's athlete, they don't foul like they was fouling Jordan.
No hand check.
Back there too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that Jordan in today's league would average 50 points.
But wouldn't be winning anything. So what's the point of averaging 50 if you're not winning?
What makes you think he's not winning?
Well, because if you're going to average 50 points a game, that means you're taking half of your team's shots.
No.
We've
I'm not saying he would. I'm just saying, but he could.
Yeah, but even if he did do that, what's the point of doing that if you're not going to win?
So,
like in '86 in the playoffs, he averaged like 40 against the '86 Celtics, and he got swept. So what's the point of him winning scoring titles if he's not going to win NBA titles?
That was the Jordan who was evolving, but once he evolved, it was no losing.
Because everything changed by that time, and he didn't have to face those Celtics because he didn't beat Larry Bird, and
you can't look at
was beating the Lakers with Kareem, in my opinion.
Yeah,
but
you can't look at his first 3 or 4 years in the league, and you have to go to the Jordan of '89, '90, and that's the Jordan who had evolved. And watch this, bro. He had to change his game. Jordan. Most people don't realize Jordan changed his whole game to win a championship, because he was no longer jumping over everybody. He leaned to the fadeaway jumper. So he had to he reinvented himself at the height of his career. Who does that?
Definitely. I definitely agree with that. But at the same time, it's like, even if we take even if we should take that into tuition, 80. What year was that? What was the year? It was '88 that he won MVP and Defensive Player of the Year the same season, right? 88. Yeah. So '88, they got beat against the Pistons again with his game evolving in the middle of his career, and he was still averaging 37.
Now, with all due respect, now, are we comparing losses with Mike and LeBron?
No, I'm just saying in general. No, I didn't know we was comparing.
Because yeah, because the Jordan was never the loss record, comparing the loss record to Mike and LeBron, the LBJ, are two different animals.
Oh yeah, because LeBron faced different teams in the finals than Jordan did. Definitely, they had way two different opponents.
Absolutely, and he's the common denominator in those things. And so here it is. I would never take nothing from LeBron James. You just can't. I'm just trying to let you know that you're comparing a player who was a straight up movement. It's kind of like saying, who's better preacher, Martin King or T.D. Jakes? T.D. Jakes,
I guess. I don't know. I agree with that.
Watch this. Jakes is the juggernaut of preachers. Jakes Evans, Telechap, they're the juggernauts of preachers. You can't take nothing from them, but you can't compare them with the movement, which was MLK. You just can't. So you can appreciate all the good things they've done, but they're not Martin Luther King. And you're literally comparing a metaphor of T.D. Jakes, LeBron James, and a metaphor of Michael Jordan and MLK.
There in the comments that Jordan faced so many different Hall of Fame players in his first 7
Yes. That's what I be talking about. Like those first 7 years of Jordan's career, like that first 7 years of his career when he was facing Hall of Famers, and he was losing, that's what I was talking about right there. By the time Jordan was winning, it's like I told somebody this earlier. The Eastern Conference that Jordan had in the 80s was not the Eastern Conference that he had in the 90s when he was three-peating. There's a reason why he was no three-peat in no 80s. You wasn't getting past the bad boy Pistons. You wasn't getting past, you wasn't getting past them Celtics that was hooping and dominating on everybody.
Yeah, and so now, and of course we look at personnel. We can always do that. But someone in the comments said you have to first ask if LeBron's better than Kobe.
We did talk earlier.
Oh, yeah, huh?
We did talk about that earlier. Dave, want to give you a take?
Oh yeah, definitely. So, in my opinion, I'm like this. If you say LeBron's better than Kobe, I'm not tripping no more about it. And the reason why I'm not tripping no more about it is because LeBron has done stuff that Kobe hasn't done. Kobe has never beat a 73-9 LeBron did that. Kobe doesn't have 4 regular season MVPs. He doesn't have 4 finals MVPs. Kobe Bryant played with a dominant center in Shaq. When LeBron James got Shaq in 2009, Shaq was not the prime Shaq that we know and love. Let's just keep it a beam. Shaq was past his prime. He was not the same Shaq. Dwayne Wade had a better version of Shaq in 06 than what LeBron James had in 2009. So that's just factual.
And also, Kobe had the highest percentage of missed shots.
Yeah, before LeBron broke the record. Yeah.
NBA history.
Yep. And I love Kobe. Kobe is my favorite player. Everyone that knows me personally, that I grew up with in elementary school to like when we graduate, they know Kobe is my guy. Kobe was always my guy. But I told somebody else this like a few days ago. It's not 2010 anymore. Like, it's not like LeBron ain't got no championships. LeBron got a triple-double career stats. The man got 40K, 10K, 10K. That is ridiculous.
So I'm sorry, and I asked this question. So are you saying that LeBron was all around GOAT in front of Jordan? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying if someone wants to say LeBron's the GOAT or say that LeBron's better than Jordan or Kobe, they have a legit argument because LeBron has done stuff that both of them haven't done.
Sure, Jordan got. In the words of Jesus, who do you say he is? Who do you say he is? Who do you say the GOAT is right now?
In my opinion, if I take all my personal feelings out of it, in my opinion, I think the GOAT really should be Bill Russell. If not Bill Russell, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. But if we're just keeping it to modern era arguments for say a debate like we're having today, then obviously I would still have Jordan as the GOAT, but not for the reasons that most people have him for.
Okay.
My reasons for Michael Jordan being the GOAT is because he had the greatest owner around him and he had the greatest teammates around him as well. That's why he's the GOAT. Because Jordan was still winning all those scoring titles, but not winning NBA championships. If Jordan never gets Scottie Pippen on his team, and Scottie Pippen teams up with if the Bulls never traded for Scottie Pippen on draft night when he was drafted by the Seattle Supersonics, Scottie Pippen would have been playing with Sean Kemp in his prime and Gary Payton in his prime. Can't nobody tell me that they're not gonna win no championships or at least go to some finals. Gary, you're not scoring. You got Gary Payton, who's one of the first point guards in league history to win a Defensive Player of the Year, and then you got Scottie Pippen with all his defensive. Oh, and you got Sean Kemp who dunking on everybody. Yeah, that's the problem. That's dangerous.
But what did Pippen do when Jordan was out?
Oh, when Jordan was out, he literally Pippen went to a conference finals.
Nothing. Pippen was. Oh God.
He went to a conference. He went to the third round. That's something that he did. He did the same thing Jordan did. What did Jordan? That's the thing. I love when Jordan fans ask me this question because if we're really keeping it a beam, without each other, they wasn't winning championships. So what's your point? Are we just gonna say that Jordan was just better because he won some MVPs, but there was no championship?
Listen, Ivory Pleasant is preaching. LeBron lost with Wade and Bosh.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, but yeah, I'm acknowledging that it happened. It happened, but
so Jordan won with Pippen. LeBron lost with Wade and Bosh.
That's two completely different situations. The reason why that is two completely different situations because for one, LeBron had to join a new team that already had that number one superstar, and on top of that, they had to pay cuts. They had to take they had to take shorten they had to shorten their contracts just to be teammates with each other in the first place. That's number one. Number two, that was their first year together. People love to act like that LeBron and Bosh and D Wade played as long as Jordan and Pippen. Jordan and Pippen played a whole decade together.
But
LeBron and
listen,
D Wade only played 4 years.
and with all due respect, who else did Jordan have outside of Pippen?
He had Tony Kukoc, who won the Sixth Man of the Year.
Boy, hey, Tony Kukoc.
Yeah, he won the Sixth Man of the Year.
Tony Kukoc, the Latin lover. You gonna put Tony Kukoc as a factor?
He won the Sixth Man of the
He
Year,
was
and he averaged
average
16 points a game.
with
What are we
Jordan.
talking about?
With Jordan. Tony,
Yeah, with
Kukoc,
Jordan. Yeah, that was a
Bill
that's a
Cartwright.
story.
These guys were average at best outside of Jordan. All he had was a Pippen. And Pippen was a role player. Tony
What?
Kukoc.
Tony Kukoc. Okay, Tony
Oh my
Kukoc.
God.
Then on top of that, the second 3P he got Dennis Rodman, who literally is arguably the greatest rebounder in league history. Matter of fact,
Ben
the
Wallace.
man won 7 straight rebounding titles in a row. He has 7 rebounding titles. The man was averaging more rebounds than Hakeem Olajuwon, and he was 6'7". So people love to act like that Jordan just had a bunch of bums around him when that's not the truth. He had John Paxson, he had Steve Kerr, he had Tony Kukoc, he had Dennis Rodman, and before he even had Dennis Rodman, he had Horace Grant, who was hooping too. They was all hooping. Steve Kerr, if Steve Kerr don't hit that big shot in the '96 Finals in Game 6, you go to a Game 7, and no one knows what the heck happens in that.
If Jordan is not a decoy, he's not open.
Okay, but either way, he still has to hit that shot. I don't care if Jordan plays decoy if he misses the shot.
He's a white boy NBA point guard. They're supposed to knock that open shot. That's why they get drafted.
Even if Jordan plays decoy and he misses the shot, it doesn't matter.
But he's supposed to make that shot. My point is, he was a role player on a team where he's made. And I'm just saying that he had Pippen, granted, but that's really all he had. That's all.
But that's why I disagree with you at though.
Okay.
Because I can't say that's not all he had because he had Phil Jackson too, and Phil Jackson was the one that was making the triangle offense. He's the one who helped Michael Jordan teach him how to trust his teammates because Jordan wasn't trusting his teammates when he first came in the league. Jordan was like, "I'm scoring, give me the ball, forget everybody else."
I don't know the last one, but I definitely agree that Phil Jackson was definitely a factor. That is a great point that people oftentimes don't bring out, that he did have Phil. That you right there, that's fire. That's all facts, no printer. But I'll just say, pound for pound, if you had the first pick to build your team, you got LeBron James or Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Who do you choose?
Oh, so I'm a GM and I have to start a team? Oh, well, okay, then I'm gonna pick LeBron on my first pick because he's all around. Because that's a different discussion than me just picking who's the better player.
Dobbins, it's been a pleasure. Y'all have a good night.
That's a different discussion.
There's no way under heaven you select LeBron James over Michael Jordan.
The reason why I said that is because that's a different conversation. If you ask me if I'm starting a franchise, that means we're playing my style of basketball. That doesn't mean this player is better than another player. That just means I have a selective style I want to play. LeBron plays a better style than Michael Jordan because he's all around. He's going to pass the ball more than Michael Jordan. That's why he has more assists than Michael Jordan. So he plays my type. I will put Magic Johnson and LeBron James on the same team and team them up with Kobe, and we all winning championships because they're going to make sure everybody eat while getting their own points.
Hey, and then throw Shaq and Tim Duncan in. I'm with it. Let me say this. First of all, he's spitting facts. His stats are great. Doc Goins is spitting the truth experience. Ivory summed it up. He said it this way. Your generation based on stat. My generation bases greatness instinct. That's why most 35 and old really gonna rock. anybody 30 under, they're more likely probably 6 out of pick LeBron. Both great players. Now, I agree with you on the all around portion. Only thing is, if I know that I know that I'm going, because Jordan's
He's
going
gonna
to
find a way. He's gonna find a way.
fight you in practice. He going to get on your butt. He not going to even pass you the ball until you really prove that you can handle the rock. But
Yeah, but that's not cool, bro.
LeBron,
He's a leader, and he will find a way to impact.
I mean,
Jordan is gonna find. Jordan will find a way to. I don't know. I just don't have, and I could be wrong. I just don't have that type of confidence. LeBron Jordan will find a way to win. That's the type of heart he has.
Hey, keep Shaq retired. That's wrong, Frankie. That's wrong.
I can't, but see, that's the, I feel like we're discrediting LeBron when we say that, because we can't say Jordan will find a way to win, but LeBron was down 3-1. How can we sit up here and tell me with a straight face that LeBron's never found a way to win when the man was down 3-1 against a 73-19 with a unanimous MVP on their team? If that's not finding a way to win, I don't know what is.
No, I agree.
I don't know what is.
Look, LeBron to find a way to win is just Jordan has a different killer instinct, is what they're saying. Earl said Jordan did average triple-double 12 rookies.
Wait, what did you say?
Earl said.
He said what?
Earl
that Jordan averaged a triple double his rookie season.
Yeah, for the last.
Oh yeah, no, in that 12-game stretch. Yeah.
Jesus, I did not know that.
Yeah, he did that. He did that for 12 games, and LeBron James did that in the finals.
Okay. So
I'm just saying, if we want to talk about triple doubles now, LeBron James did that in the 2016 finals. He led them in all major statistical categories, and he averaged a triple double in that series.
I didn't know that.
7-game series.
Yeah, that was a 7-game series. So forget Jordan's 12-game stretch. I did that in the finals. What are we talking about?
12 versus 7. That's what he's saying.
I mean, I guess, but I mean,
You guess. You gotta acknowledge that.
No, I'm acknowledging it, but the reason why it doesn't hold as much weight is because that was 12 straight regular season games. Would you rather average a triple double in the regular season or in the finals when your team win a championship on the line? LeBron did that with the championship on the line. We celebrate Jordan winning for 12 regular season games. Yay! Like that's.
Who do you think? So who do you think Jordan's? Who do you think LeBron's GOAT is?
Who do you think LeBron's GOAT is?
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure his GOAT is Michael Jordan. I'm pretty sure.
Who do you think Michael Jordan's GOAT is?
Probably Dr. J, because he mirrored his game up on Dr. J for a little while.
Probably Michael Jordan. Hey man, this is love, beautiful man. I'm about to take my butt to bed.
Hey,
this was fun, man. Hey man, listen, I need to talk to Christy. I have something coming up at Cornelia, man. I want to do something, a special night just the wives.
Hey, done deal. Let's go, baby. Hit me up, man.
Can you have like text me or something tomorrow, please?
Hey, done deal, man. I got
All right,
you.
thank you. All right, very nice to meet you.
All right, yeah, nice to meet you, sir.
Bye-bye.
Now, Jordan did say that he did give John Stockton a great mention in terms of when he was talking about the greatest conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Ivor Pleasant says 10 seconds on the clock. Who takes the last shot, LeBron or Jordan?
I mean, you can go either or, but if I had to choose, I guess I'll go Jordan with that. But again, LeBron James has the most clutch time points in playoff history, so you can really go either way. And if people also ignore that LeBron James has the most playoff buzzer beater game-winning shots in playoff history. So all this notion that LeBron James is a clutch, it's not even factual. That's why people don't like to go by statistics, because statistics, it breaks a lot of narratives that people be trying to push about LeBron. And so the more great that he gets, the more they just coming up with new stuff to, like, you know what I'm saying, to diminish.
That's why you're on here to spit facts with statistics. Now,
exactly.
Ivor did say, how do you factor in hand checking, though? We talked about that earlier. That's the one thing you can't factor. This game versus the original game, no zone defense, man-to-man, knuckle-to-knuckle. I know you did say WWE type 5.
Because it was WWE. It really was. And I love him. I told my brother this. I said one of the things that I hate that the NBA did remove was hand checking because I felt like hand checking was a good defensive mechanism. However, the reason why they took it out of the game is because people used that as an excuse to basically fight other players on the court. They weren't using it just to play the game. You doing that so you can elbow him in the middle of his eye while he trying to do a floater. You know, now you dragging him to, instead of you just holding his hand before he drive, now you gonna grab him in midair and he could possibly tear his MCL. You know what I'm saying? That's why they took that out of the game. Everything that the older generation complains about with my game or with my era's game being soft, it's really y'all's fault because y'all was not playing the game of basketball. Just keep it in the beam. No one wants to go on television and watch basketball and then see somebody get punched in the face.
It's not
No
really,
one wants to see that.
really our fault. The people that were younger than us just got softer, so we had to change the rules to adapt to the softness.
But I'm telling you, that's why the NBA changed a lot of stuff.
I feel you though. Now Earl said,
They took out a lot of stuff.
what do you think about this? Earl says it's a lot easier to score now. It's made it more entertaining for the fans that just want to see scoring.
Well, that's the thing. I feel like that's a myth in my opinion. And the reason why I say that's a myth in my opinion, it's only because people, for one, I don't even think people who really say that are really watching the games like that. Because you can't look at the man-to-man defense and the defense that they play now that is more strategic to say that it's so easy to score 50. Because if it was so easy to score 50, everybody would be getting 50. Like we have like some, like I would say we have like 9, maybe 12 players in the league that's at least giving me 20 points a game. Like it's still hard to score in the league. Like this is not like it's some easy task. Like
Do you think people would automatically respect Jordan more because he put up the same stats as LeBron, if not even better, with hand checking?
wait, do I think people will respect Jordan more or LeBron more if he played with hand checking?
Well, I'm saying respect Jordan. Do you think people are saying, majority of people say Jordan's a GOAT, like probably 7 out of 10.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Do you think people are saying that because he had hand checking and still scored?
No, I think people are saying that because Michael Jordan was the very first global superstar in terms of, like he said earlier,
I got
he
you.
made the game global. He was the guy with the first signature shoe, all that stuff. But like that's one of the reasons why people love Jordan the most because of that. Like he said, that's what he said. He said Jordan was a movement. So because Jordan was a movement, he gets this extra love. You know what I'm saying? And I get it. Trust me, I get it. But my thing with Jordan fans now is that they discredit everything Jordan had around him, and they act like Jordan did everything by himself. And then we compare that to other players, and they're like, he's not this guy. When Jordan never did anything by himself, because when Jordan was by himself, he was just like LeBron in my eyes, a great elite player, winning MVPs and All-Stars, but not winning no championships.
Robert,
It's this, right. That's what I'm saying. The clutch.
Bill Carter.
That's why I don't discredit role players. Like role players play a role into the game. They really do. If you don't have a good role player on a team, you're not winning a championship.
Do you think now LeBron's big? I don't know if he's tough, but if you put last question, we'll try to top it up. If you put LeBron in the 90s era, do you think he's still LeBron?
Yes. Yes. Most definitely. If you put LeBron James in the 90s, are we putting him on the Cleveland Cavaliers in the 90s?
No, I'm saying you wouldn't want to do that, but I'm just saying, just in general, do you think if you just put him in the era, is he as effective in the 90s era as he is now?
Yes. The reason why I say that is because he would be a more athletic version of Magic Johnson in the 90s. That's what he would be. And the reason why I say LeBron would still be LeBron is because in the 90s, y'all let Charles Barkley win an MVP, and he was 6'7", 250. LeBron James is 6'9", 250.
Barkley was a baller
Hey,
now. Let's
Barkley was a baller though. That's what I'm saying. But he was around the same size as LeBron James, and he was a little bit shorter. And he won an MVP. So
well,
if he could do that, well, imagine what LeBron could do.
no. Barkley was tough. That's the point. I respect LeBron. He's got a great physique, but the toughness of that era, some people articulate how he cries about fouls. Now, it's gotten less, but you still show him crying about fouls. They said basically put him in the 90s era. It's like, that's not even a question. You're going to get a tech for just even delaying the game for asking
Yeah,
for.
that's crap. That's
But
crap.
it's tough to compare because it's just a different era.
Yeah, it's a different era, but what I'm saying is if Charles Barkley can win the MVP, like he said in the comments, Charles Barkley was 6'5". If a 6'5" forward, a 6'5" power forward, undersized power forward can win an MVP in the Jordan era, what can a 6'8", 250 Frank train like LeBron James can do? And Karl Malone, who was Karl Malone was like what, 6'7", right? 6'7", like 260 pounds.
Oh, no, he's
And he had,
6. Karl Malone
yeah,
is 6.
I can look it up real quick. I think Karl Malone, how tall is Karl Malone?
He's 6'10".
Karl Malone, jeez, let me look up his dog height. Height, weight. Karl Malone is 6'9", 258 pounds when he was a player.
Well,
Karl Malone in the 90s from...
And you can look at that weight. That weight is not, see, that's the thing. Stats weren't as, just imagine with AI, computer, internet, just stats were not as accurate to me back then. Everything counted as much. If you look at Karl Malone versus LeBron, you know that Karl Malone is much bigger than 250. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, definitely.
You can see that. So that's a perfect example. He's going to be more like 275 easy. Say Karl Malone was LeBron without agility. Now Karl Malone was just straight up.
Yeah, Karl Malone was averaging like 30 for like the whole 90s decade. Like,
look at Robinson's physique, his arms. Man, it just
that's what I'm saying. Like this is why I laugh all the time when I hear stuff about LeBron James complaining about fouls and all this stuff. Like Jordan did the same thing. There's literally clips you can literally go back and watch the full games. If Jordan to get a foul call, he cussing out the ref. You this, you that. Jordan was not the type to get fouled and feel like he get fouled and then just run back. No, every player does that. If they feel like the referee missed the call, you gonna hear it. You gonna be like, yo, he hit me, he did this.
I think they gave Jordan a little bit more after the Pistons piece because they realized that they really allowed that game to go. That game and many other games too rough. So I can't. On the other hand, anybody that ever watched the game real time, you'd be like, man, this guy has too much power. Is this guy controlling the game? It was a crazy. We'd have to talk offline, just like, whoa, is this?
Yeah.
But I
Jordan.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
Jordan is Jordan. I just don't like this notion that Jordan did everything by himself. You know, that's the only problem that gets on my nerves. Like Jordan fans make it seem like Jordan did everything by himself, and it diminished the squad that he had.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
But you did just say, well, part of it is because what you mentioned, like 84, 85 to 91, having nobody. So people respect him for actually building the team. That's where I think it comes from. But then obviously to your point, it's gotten off a little bit. Marshall says LeBron's greatest asset is his IQ. His IQ is beyond measure. I watched it coming out of high school. I'm going to tell you guys another player, and I'm going to try to close it out. Another player who was phenomenal, who had just straight up IQ, was Chris Webber. Many people sleep on Chris. Jimmy King, Chris Webber, it just, oh my God. And obviously, Juwan Howard, it's the whole Fab Five, to be honest with you. It's Ray Jackson, it's Jimmy King. But if you looked at Chris Webber, the way his IQ was set up, Jimmy King, Juwan Howard was one of the first making 80 to 100 million on that contract. It's because their IQ, their brilliance level. That just, this is why people like Sam Cassell, You remember Sam Cassell?
Yeah, I know Sam Cassell. Yeah.
Now to me, him and Muggsy Bogues about the fastest players I've ever seen. Watching them real time go up and down the court, it's just now that's like speed. LeBron won a 4-3. That's what people don't know. It's a lot of variables there, but that gets into something else. I'm thinking about Bo Jackson. This is before you had um, different levels of shoes and gear to take you that fast. So these guys
Yeah.
were just raw. I sent you that pic of the guy dunking between his legs in the
Yeah,
80s.
that was clean. That was clean. I saw that.
We used to do it like Jason Woods and many others, but it wasn't as pop. It was cool, but it wasn't as accepted. It was like, it's just between your legs. You can't do that in the game.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So people downplayed it, but then lately you see different tricks. So yeah, but I wanted to bring you on to showcase your brilliance, your basketball IQ, and I think you got something special.
Appreciate
I
it.
still hadn't had a chance to dunk on you yet. You know, I got to give you the rite of passage. No.
See, how you gonna? Yeah, I rebuke that. I can't get dunked on. Heck no.
These are old man jokes. Listen, it's a story. Basically, you run a 10-yard touchdown. By the time you get 30 years old, you ran a 15-yard touchdown. By the time you get 40, you ran a 20-year-old touchdown. By the time you're 50, man, I ran a 50-yard touchdown, and it was in overtime, and it was on the ice. No, keep doing what. De'Aaron Fox is the fastest player in the league. John Wall is the fastest player ever seen. Wow.
Oh yeah.
Gary Payton's IQ was beyond measure. This is true. And he talked smack too. Now you mentioned
he backed it up.
I can't let you go. You mentioned Shawn Kemp. What did you like about Shawn? I love Shawn Kemp. He is one of the most not underrated, but under-discussed people other than dunks. Shawn Kemp was a monster.
Shawn. So the reason why I love Shawn Kemp is because for somebody from my generation, it's like I tell them all the time. I say Shawn Kemp was basically Zion Williamson before Zion Williamson. The way he could jump, the way he could move at his size in the 90s was different. No one has seen that before. Like I think, Shawn Kemp, I can search it up right now. I think Shawn Kemp like around 6'7", 6'8". I think
6'10", but I could be wrong.
Yeah,
he came out of Juke.
6'10". Yeah, you're right. He's 6'10". Yeah.
Juco.
So he was 6'10", but the way he could move like a guard, like,
yes.
And he could jump too. That's what's so crazy. He's 6'10", but he could do what Vince Carter could do at 6'10". Like the way. That's why I say if he had got Scottie, if they had got Scottie Pippen with Gary Payton and Shawn Kemp, oh yeah,
that's true.
Yeah. Hakeem, you kiss those 2 championships goodbye. Utah, y'all not getting. Yeah, y'all not beating that team. Y'all the defense.
It's debatable. Talked about is Vince Carter. Beyond Duncan, the guy was just straight up baller. Championship from my understanding, right? Vince Carter.
You said what?
Never won a championship from my understanding, right?
Vince Carter. He never won a championship. No, unfortunately not.
Like the Barkley or the
he kind of falls like the Barkley, the Iverson, the T-Max of the world. They were great.
You know T cousin.
That's his cousin. Yeah.
I was at the game when Dirk and Earl, you might remember this. I was at the game when Dirk, it was basically like Dirk versus T-Mac. Dirk hits 51, T-Mac hits 49, or vice versa. It was crazy when Houston played that. Now, another baller is Anthony Hardaway. Oh, God.
Anthony Hardaway. Yeah, I haven't done a lot of research on him. I haven't watched a lot of stuff around him, but I didn't know that he was hard.
You talk about it, basically, it was really Jordan level right after Jordan. Other players that we'll talk about next time was we need to talk about Earl Manigault. You ever heard of him?
No, I have not.
Earl Manigault. Oh my
My
God.
time.
These are
Before my time.
that go back and look at the documentaries. These are people who would touch this for my time too. People who were touching the backboard. I was telling you how they would put a quarter and a dime on top of the backboard. Look, study Len Bias.
I know who Len Bias is.
He was the
That's the guy.
Celtics to Jordan, but obviously drugs, crack cocaine, doing it for the first time, getting high, and took out his life. Study people like
Yeah.
Hank Gathers, who was averaging 37.8 points a game in college, breaking records that nobody had ever seen, ends up having a heart attack. It's a lot of just deep stories of people who you're like, whoa, who would they have been?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Hank
what I'm saying. Saved by the bell. Because I ain't gonna look. I'm gonna
This
say
is-
this what if, and we can move on or we can, end it. But legit, if Len Bias lives
it's no
and he
question.
stays on the Boston Celtics,
No
I don't
question.
think Jordan and them getting past Larry Bird and Len Bias. Because the reason why the Celtics even got Len Bias in the first place is because they were looking for a new superstar because Larry Bird was getting old. You know what I'm saying?
It's no question. Now,
Yeah.
this is more like 85 to 90, but it's no question.
Yeah.
Len Bias, just straight baller.
Baller.
You, yeah.
Oh, I hate that he passed away, man. I hate that he passed
And
away.
Hank
R.I.P.
Gathers.
Len.
When you study Hank Gathers, the stats were just astounding. I tell you somebody else if they hadn't got hurt, he still could ball. Grant Hill. Oh God,
Right here, yes.
baller. There are a
Baller.
lot that man, it's just the game. It's just
Yeah.
it's the game. Patrick Ewing was a baller.
Chicken was a baller. I wish he was never on the Knicks, but yes, he was a baller. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a whole other conversation. That's a whole nother conversation. I know it, man. That's a whole nother.
Yeah, man.
Anyways, man, I'm gonna let you go. I had a very important call there earlier. Kept my promise. We got to do this again.
Okay.
I had a whole lot.
Yeah, definitely. Let me know whenever you want to do this again, because I'll gladly chime in. Is this going on YouTube as well? Because I can send you my link to stuff you can put in the description.
Absolutely. I'll save it. What I'll do is I'll save it, archive it, and then upload it, and then we can tag it, or I'll figure out a way to send it to you, and you can do it. Either way.
I'll just tag you in the I'll do my thing.
All I ask is for 1% when you make it. Just 1%. You know, just
Got you,
1%.
bastard. I got you.
All right, love you. Ball up.
Man. Yes, sir.
Peace, y'all.
Peace, y'all.